Hey everybody, it's Yo Taylor back here at the Style Table on My Style Mondays. And today I'm super excited. I am here with Melia Arnett-Archie ESQ. She is the CEO of Modern Creators Law Firm PLLC and VoiceBox Podcast and Creator Studio in Fort Lauderdale. She's going to tell us about and also I'm going to ask her for tips on a couple of tips on how we can protect our businesses because she is an attorney at law and she is not only gorgeous and fabulous, but she is super, super smart, and she can help us protect our business, because navigating the legal waters, that part of the business, can be daunting. And to have someone who's compassionate and caring, who will speak to you in a way that you can understand and be calm, because we have enough to worry about with our businesses, right? And she has this fantastic studio. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. She does events there to showcase businesses. It is amazing. So we're going to talk about all of those things. Melia, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, the first thing, let's talk about being an attorney. What practice did you always start out as a business attorney, taking care of businesses?
No. I actually started my career in the law as a prosecutor in Miami, Florida. Yeah. So for about, a little over 6 years, 6.5 years, I practiced as an assistant state attorney in Miami-Dade County, Florida. And just had a wonderful time in public service, and then moved over to corporate law after that.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, wow, that's a leap. And so so now you help businesses.
Yeah, I do. So my practice now, Modern Creators Law Firm, is really focused on helping creatives become entrepreneurs, right? I think we all are very good at having ideas and being creative, but we oftentimes don't recognize that we are operating as businesses, whether you're a social media influencer or a stylist or a hair salon owner, or even a crafter, right? When you start thinking about going from a hobby, which is something you really do for yourself, to doing those very same things and monetizing and commercializing those things, you become a business. And so I love working with creatives and helping them along that journey, from starting up to transitioning to other business lines and making those pivots to just thinking about how you grow.
Okay, awesome. Because there's so many things that come up. I mean, you just did, I shared on my page, you guys, you did a video about trademarking, which is huge. That's a big deal, because we invest a lot in our brands and you want to protect those brands. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think, again, where creative should be is focused on the art of creating, whatever that looks like. But in the process of that, we have to understand that everything we create, we want to maintain ownership of, for a lot of different reasons, most of which because you want to at some point be able to turn in and make your profits off of the value of the goods and services that you're creating. But when we don't pay attention to our intellectual property foundation, what we don't realize oftentimes is that different things are eroding that along the way, right? So we've created it. You are the owner of the things that you create. But what stops other folks from coming in and taking that, either intentionally or unintentionally? And that's going to be your formally registering your trademarks, registering your copyrights on your sort of high value, high risk creations, to make sure that you have all the protections available to you. If something were to happen later, like an infringer, or you want it, even thinking more positively, what happens when you want to sell it and you want to monetize it? And thinking about the overall value of your business and understanding that your intellectual property is a key component of the assessment of the value of your overall business. And so it's my job to come along and let you focus on what you want to focus on, which is the creative portion, and allowing me and my team to focus on helping you protect it and maintain the value in it.
Wow. And so that's another thing I didn't even think about, just protecting it while you're using it. But yeah, what if you want to sell your business? What if you decide, you're ready to make a leap and do something else and you want to sell the business you have? You want everything to be protected and right. So when you're sitting across the table from the purchaser, you're ready.
You're ready. That's right. And even if you don't want to sell, I mean, Barbie, let's talk about Barbie for a second. I read an article that talked about how this Barbie phenomenon is really the result of a great intellectual property strategy, right? And so that is Mattel understanding very early on that this engine that is Barbie would have value outside of what they could ever amass in just the doll, right? And so the licensing agreements that, had to take place to allow for the movie production and all of that, again, that is because all of those IP assets were very, very tightly sort of held down under the strategic package that really allows them now to sell or license the likeness and image of Barbie, Ken, and all of those other dolls and figures in that franchise for things like what we're experiencing now, which is this Barbie phenomenon. And so I think we all want to get to that level, right? Where we're now light years past the original creation, but we're able to have these derivative streams of income and of value because we've done the right things in the beginning to really understand the worth of our intellectual property portfolios. And we're doing the right things to make sure that those stay protected.
See, all of that. I'm just like sitting here like, what do I need to do? How do I, monetize and protect anything that I decide to do, and protect it. And it's not that you're being paranoid, and it's not that you're not being, you're not trusting people to do the right thing. It's that, it's just about being proactive in your business and taking that stress away of that possible what if, and being ahead of the game. Some of that is just women. I'm sure a lot of the women who are watching this who are business owners, it's kind of what we do anyway, because we're the ones going, what if, because we have that gift of discernment, a gift of fear.
Yeah. Yes. Can we talk about that for a minute? Can we talk about all of the reticence that you're right, and I think is probably more pervasive for women, just around growing our businesses, putting ourselves out there. I've spoken to so many women business owners who, they have great ideas. They may already be down the path of, working in their businesses, but then the thought of growth becomes so overwhelming. And so it's almost like, trademarking and copywriting my things. Oh my gosh. Like I don't even know where to start. Like I'm trying to get good at just turning on the camera and doing a little bit of social media content every now and then. So the idea that, my business could actually become, this engine that I know it can be is overwhelming. And, we really are doing a good job with things like this and, other platforms of really just talking through the realness of those things, dealing with the fear. And my theory is this: the only way to slay a giant is to turn and face them. So it's okay that you're scared of the giant, but it's not okay that we continue to overlook him, look around him, and we don't turn and face him to really be able to take our businesses to the next level, our creative ideas to the next level, and formalizing it in a business. And so, I think that's part of my job also as legal counsel. They call us counselors for a reason, because I'm counseling on the law, but, I love working with women business owners so that I can help speak to those things that I know just have them terrified. And you're right. I think having the house in order from an intellectual property side, from a business organization perspective, is the first step in turning and facing, those giants of fear.
So, some people think just because you have an LLC, I was one of those people, and I thought, I have an LLC, my business is protected, but it really isn't. You still have to go that extra step. I mean, at first I thought just having a domain protect me, But it's amazing how much other things and as you grow and as your business is continuing and you're getting more noticed, that's when you're saying do it beforehand. If
Yeah,
you really feel it's like going to be hot and popping, do it beforehand.
that's right. I mean, but it is important to do things like, securing the domain right away, even if it's just a concept or an idea. You want to go ahead and get it because we know that folks are cyber squatting. And when you get ready to go and action on it, it may not be available. And so, I think, that procrastination sometimes gets in the way. And my sort of other mantra is this: we're not going to let perfection get in the way of progress. So progress is, starting somewhere. That means securing the domain, formalizing as an LLC and taking those small steps, even if you are, a little nervous about what it all might look like, take the small steps so that when you're ready, we have all of these things secure already, and we're not having to sort of change direction or change strategy because the domain isn't available anymore. Or the logo or the business name is gone because we didn't lock it down in a trademark filing, right? And so it's better to start building your foundation, and then we can figure some of the details out as we go, but we're not going to let fear keep us on the bench.
See, never let what is it? Don't let perfection impede the progress. I always say too. So
Yes.
just get out there, do what you have to do. It's going to take a minute, but just do it. And it's scary, and you're stressed out enough about everything else. But this is such a big deal, you guys. That's why I'm just so super excited to have you on and sharing this information, because this is one of the things that is just as important as your business plan, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it is. And I think what folks fail to realize is that the investment in legal and accounting early on, a lot of that stress that you're feeling and, fear that you have, this will help with that because, some of the things that you are probably worried about, having, your strategic team, your core team, legal, accounting, marketing, right? Your style person, right? It says we're building our personal brands. These are the investments you want to think about making early, and that then takes, some of the stress off of your plate because you don't have to become an expert in the law or in taxes or in, design or style, because there's folks like us out here doing the work, digging deep for you so that you can, let us know how we can help you. We can come in right away and help you accelerate.
See, all of that, you guys, all of that. So I hope you are taking notes. She's, of course, at the end, you guys, I always make sure everybody puts all their information so you can contact her and get all the information that you need. Now we're going to talk about this Voice Box podcast and creator studio, and it's in Fort Lauderdale. So if you don't live in Fort Lauderdale, it's a good reason to go. Another good reason to go.
Come visit.
So tell us a bit about how did that come about?
So after I transitioned from being a prosecutor, I went in-house and I worked for, a few very large Fortune 500 companies, building privacy and cybersecurity legal practices. But in doing that, it required that I work very closely with the creators in those companies. So, the engineers and the inventors, and really, helping them bring sort of in that context, their creative works for the corporations to life. And so I really fell in love with the process of partnering with creatives and understanding sort of what the end goal would be and helping them strategically march along a path to get there as their lawyer. And so I knew when I was coming out into private practice, I didn't want to go back into the criminal law for a lot of different reasons, but most of which I didn't want to lose all of the fun and energy and just life that I derive from working with creatives every day. And so I said, I'm going to focus my firm on creatives, but also I'm a creator. and I'm going to need a place to create. And so we started down the path of building the studio, really thinking that we would, have this as, a part of the law firm where we're creating our digital content, our podcast. And we just started recognizing that, just like me, there are other business owners who are looking to extend the reach to their customer client base through digital media, through podcasting, through building their social media channels, and that they also needed a place to come and create, because let's just face it, creating at home doesn't work a lot of the times. We don't have, the right studio equipment, or we don't have the right backgrounds, or we have children and families that are, in the background. And so I thought, we'll create the box. So our motto is our box, your voice. We create the box with everything that you need. The lights, the cameras, the microphones, the mixers, and even the talent. So our audio visual teams, our technical teams are just superb. And all you need to do is come with your idea and be ready to create. And so we want to take the stress out of creation for you.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So you just did an event, an event there, correct? So you do events there.
I did. So, in my spare time, but, really understanding there is a need for women entrepreneurs to have a safe place to come and ideate and to, receive support. We created a networking group for women entrepreneurs called Be Her. And we had our kickoff brunch just a few weeks ago here at the studio. And it was absolutely beautiful. It was inspiring, and the space was just perfect for it. So we were able to add podcasting in, sample podcasting in, so that the women who came out to the kickoff were able to do their elevator pitch as a podcast, and then take that piece of content and use it across their social media channels. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds like a blast. I did get to see some of the inside through photos. It is absolutely, you guys, it is so cool. I mean, it's really cool. It's modern, it's cool, it's chic, it's colorful, it's everything that you would want for your business. So if you're thinking about coming down to Fort Lauderdale and checking it out, or like, even if you're on a visit, I would definitely go meet Melia, and come into the Voice Box Podcast Creator Studio and have that full experience of what a real professional studio looks like. We've been doing this from our homes, from COVID, for so long. It's time for us. Me too. That includes me. I will be down for a visit. Yes, I'm so excited to have that full studio experience, and especially, like you said, for women businesses, having that place of of support and other women supporting you and cheering you on. I think that's definitely a place I always want to be in. That's a space I always want to be in.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you so much. We created this space for, everyone. We believe everyone can create. It's just sometimes we need a little help with the tools and the know-how to do it. And so I like to say I steal people's excuses for not creating, right? So if the excuse is, I don't know how to run the camera, I don't know. Well, no, we've done all of that for you. Come on in and let us help you get it done.
See? And you can probably get multiple ones done. And then you can go back home, especially if you're flying in, you can get a couple of your podcasts done and you might be set for a month.
That's right. We'll block out the day and shoot, we can shoot up to 4 shows in a day. And, that would be, up to 2 months worth of content for you. Not to mention what you could clip and snip and use for, shorter clips on your social media channels. All of that is available. And, we're here to really listen to what your goals are, and more importantly, help create some strategy around how you're approaching your digital media strategy.
So overall, what are some of your tips for businesses? What is like one of the most important tips as a business owner as far as protecting themselves legally? What would be the absolute first thing businesses should do?
Say the first thing is if you have not registered your trademark, and that would be to trademark your business name, your logo, any slogans or taglines. That's sort of the most important thing after, formally registering your business as an LLC or, whatever other business structure you might be registering it under. But you have to do that. I think when you think about, your legitimacy as a business, that is definitely, the top 3 things that you want to do. Register your trademarks. The second thing I would say is, continue to evaluate the structure of your business and ask yourself whether or not, if you're not an S corp, if you have the right sort of tax structure for your business. I think, another thing is we think that as business owners, we listen to what other business owners are doing, and sometimes we just adapt and adopt without sort of strategically evaluating whether or not the overall organizational structure is best for our long-term goals. And so what I like to do is perform business audits for all of my clients at first. And so that's across 4 domains. Your business organization. So we're going to look at your current structure and your goals and whether or not that current structure is still appropriate for those goals. The second area is going to be your intellectual property, everything that we just talked about. We're going to look at everything that you've created, everything that you are planning to create for the next 3 years, and ask, how do we prioritize your IP strategy and getting, the main things, keeping the main things the main thing, right? Protecting what needs to be protected and building that IP foundation. The third area is going to be privacy and cybersecurity. So my next big tip is this. Just because you're small does not mean there are not serious privacy and cybersecurity things for you to consider. For example, if you're collecting any email addresses, any contact information from your clients and customers, we want to make sure that your privacy policy, your privacy notice on your website is not just a template that came with your website, but that is truly, it truly explains what you do with your customers and your clients' personal information. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is coming down hard on compliance with respect to privacy notices. We know that the U.S. is now just a hotbed for new privacy laws. When I first started in privacy, there were no U.S. consumer privacy laws. Now I believe we are somewhere over 10 states that have adopted comprehensive consumer privacy laws that might impact your business and what you're doing personal information. You need to know about those things. And then cybersecurity. Cyber hackers are really focusing in on small businesses because they know that small businesses are not making the investment for, on cybersecurity and protecting sensitive, proprietary, and personal information. And now with AI, they're able to do it more quickly and more efficiently in terms of engineering attacks against small businesses. And a ransomware attack for a small business could be the death knell of that business. So really making some investments in cyber and privacy would be my next tip. And then, sort of the last tip is do it. Do it. It's totally okay to build your plane while you're flying it, but just make these investments that I've just spoken of and continue to chip away at your risks mitigation strategy, just a little bit every week and until we get you where you need to be.
All of that is so huge and so incredibly helpful. Taking notes, noted. And you guys, I hope that you are learning something, and I hope you're getting a lot of good information with this. And I hope you please contact Meliá, like I am, to make sure everything's protected and you've crossed every T and dotted every I to protect everything that you've put into your business creating or organizations. If you're a nonprofit and you've invested your blood, sweat, tears, and heart into something, you want to protect it. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now I'm going to have to ask you about your style because you are drop dead gorgeous. and you are super stylish. And I love her Tom Ford glasses. They are fabulous.
Thank you so much. I try.
Well, you do a great job. So would you say how's your style now as opposed to when you were a prosecutor? How's your style evolved?
Well, I mean, for a lot of different reasons, most of which, I'm able to actually buy more things that I like than I could when I was a prosecutor. So thumbs up to that. But I think my style is still pretty true to me. You do the best at whatever budget you have, to really live out your style. And mine, I think, is, and I looked this up because I know I was meeting with you, modern eclectic, in that I do like to mix, different textures and, from different eras. I like to feel very feminine, but I also like to be edgy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find myself shopping at a lot of boutiques because I do like to have things that I haven't seen, a lot of people wearing. And so, I just put it together, and it's very much based on my mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some days I am feeling very bright and colorful, and, other days I like, earth tones, and to feel, just a little bit more muted. And so I really do dress my feelings, I think, if that's a thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And do you feel like you said, now that you're not a prosecutor, you feel like you have more freedom to dress based on how you feel? I certainly do that. I do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in just the nature of the job, right? Of course, we had a very strict dress code. The work that we were doing was extremely, not that the work I'm doing now isn't serious, but, that no one's life is on the line, right? And so we dressed for the seriousness and the heaviness of the occasion. Now that I work with creatives, I also feel like, that touches my style decisions, because I want, when people meet with me, I don't want them to feel like, they have a stuffy lawyer that doesn't understand the creative process, but I'm able now more to bring out my creative style and feel comfortable that I'm still very professional and still, I look the part, but in my way, and in a way that my clients and my customers can really relate to, which will be more bright colors, different textures. I love matching, formal suits with really, really, cute sneakers. If that, I don't want to create sort of a fashion catastrophe or crisis here, but saying I wear sneakers with suits, but it's just my style. And I really like feeling comfortable in that way.
And that makes you approachable to to the creative mind, and says, okay, she's open-minded. She's not going to, be standing over me, like an authority figure, but as a partner in the success of my business.
That's right. At least that's what I hope I'm giving off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can see that by your earrings.
Thank you.
I love those earrings. Those are fabulous.
And these were a gift from the island of Jamaica. So, yes, they were handmade, and a wonderful gift from a friend.
Well, I want to thank you so, so much for taking your time. I know you're super busy with all of this, to speak to us about very important issues, but also being warm and inviting, and letting us know that being creative is very important. That part of what we do is important. I feel like I'm a creative. I just do it through style. But it's important for us to think like business people and protect our creative property like business people.
That's right. I think we can take a page out of, Big Corp's book, even if we are smaller businesses, to recognize that they focus in the area of intellectual property and brand protection so strategically for a reason. And even if we are growing to those stages, it's important for us to, like you said, to act big, even if we are smaller now, right? Because we're thinking about where we're going, not where we're starting.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Now, Malia is going to drop her information in the comments where you can contact her, because it doesn't matter where you live. She can listen, she can contact you and you can talk. She can help you with your business. You can come down if you're in Florida, make an appointment, go down and get your shows done, and also learn. It's so important for your business and elevating your business. It's your next step. It's the elevating of your business and your brand by going into a studio. So I'm personally, listen, I'm being real. I'm learning too. I'm learning right now, and I know what I have to do because I know that I'm ready to do that. So all right, guys, you know where you can find me at the Style Table, at thestyletable.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Style Table LLC. It's the official at the Style Table YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the support. See you next time on My Style Mondays. We're here every Monday at 7 p.m. Thank you, guys. Bye.